Tonight on the Big D and J Rowdie Show, we won't mention the election. I broke a torque wrench, and we thank baby Jesus.
We are back from a new studio this time.
Yeah, my kitchen.
Yeah, we left the garage. It's a lot nicer right now being in the kitchen.
Yeah. So, it's been a little while. What have we been up to?
Nothing.
A whole lot of nothing. Yeah.
Adulting?
Adulting, yeah, mostly. I put tires on my truck, which is not that interesting. But when I was putting them back on, I was using a 30-some-year-old torque wrench and broke the gear drive in it and threw my back out.
The part that I still can't get over is what you had to torque them to.
Yeah. The minimum torque is like 140, and I was doing it to 160 just to be safe.
Because after 140, that extra 20 foot-pounds really adds safety.
Well, and I put wheel spacers on it, so we doubled the amount of lug nuts. So went from 32 to 64. So when the gear drive broke, I was yanking on it super hard and about threw my back out. But I'm not 28 anymore.
The important thing is you got that stance now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's about all I've been doing car related. You've been cleaning the you got the bully all cleaned up, ready to go.
All cleaned up. I clay barred it and waxed it, parked it. Oh, I put carbon fiber on my roll bar. I did that. That's new.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't scratch it climbing in.
Yeah. Jeanette caught me rubbing up against it and purring. It's so smooth and slippery and shiny.
Yeah. So what really is going on right now is we're missing the ATCO race for the Miners Free Hemi Shootout.
Yeah. That's coming up. Is it this weekend or next?
This weekend.
Yeah.
12. But
that would have been a good birthday present to make that haul out there. Then we could have raced that one guy.
Yeah.
And maybe made it worth the trip.
Right.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I would have cut like a 0.7 light.
Yeah. But, I know you're thinking about running a large part of the schedule next year.
Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I was hoping that Hemi Insanity comes back to Detroit. And I want to try for one out-of-town race.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool for out-of-town. Towing your car to a different state and like actually doing it. That'd be cool.
Right.
Staying at a hotel, worrying about your car getting stolen with the trailer and everything in the parking lot.
I'd be stressed out all week. It'd be awesome.
It'd be kind of neat, though, because we could actually go to like a track worth going to. Not that Milan isn't worth going to, but
right.
Like I went to a Streetcar Takeover, which was in Indianapolis at where the NHRA Nationals are at.
Right.
That was like a cool ass track.
Yeah.
I didn't get to race on it, but it was cool.
Yeah, I guess when I say one out-of-town race, it don't necessarily have to be a Miners Free Hemi Shootout race, but I prefer it to be. So maybe I'll do a Streetcar Takeover somewhere. I guess it's all going to depend on work schedules and on call and
time, money,
and all that.
Because you're looking just towing it and staying in a hotel room, probably $300-400.
Oh god,
just that plus race fee.
Yeah.
Not to mention, C16 isn't exactly cheap, which I'll be on next year,
right?
Because I can't afford to do the corn.
Right. We'll see how that goes. Since it's the end of the year, it's officially past Halloween.
Yep.
Basically say race season's over. So this is our year in review episode. So we're just going to quickly go over everything we did, some things we may or may have not mentioned, and what we're thinking about for next year. So just kind of going in chronological order, the biggest thing that happened to me this year was I repainted my car, which it needed so badly.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Between that and the wheels.
Yep.
And the black hood. Whoever suggested the black hood.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't He must be really know what he's talking about because
Right.
it looks sweet like that.
Yeah. So, that made it. I mean, it was quite a expense, but it was done very well. And
You probably shouldn't have to mess with it again as far as rust or anything goes for a long, long time.
right, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at where if I have to repaint it every, 10 to 15 years or so, that's pretty darn good. So, should be good for quite a while. Your biggest thing you did in the spring was your roll bar.
Yeah, that was.
You needed.
I needed it, but man, I talk to people that want to put it in their car. I'm like, don't do it.
Right.
It's such a pain in the butt, man.
Yeah.
It's cool because it's race car, but I'm getting old and it's hard to get in and out of that thing.
Yeah.
It has swing outs, but that's just as big of a pain in the ass as just falling in the car.
Right.
It looks cool. It's painted cool.
It is. It's the biggest surprise for me is how much room it takes up for your leg room.
Yeah.
Trying to drive it.
It didn't really. That part doesn't bother me as much as the hoop. The hoop feels like it's so close to my head.
Okay.
That's the only part that
right.
That
yeah, I
bothers
mean, obviously, I haven't spent the amount of time in it that you have, and I'm a little lighter across the beam than you. So
right, and just how I like how non-intrusive it is to the back seat.
Right.
Not that I ever use the back seat, but if I ever have to, there's no bars in the way. The back bars are up high enough and tucked really tight. I mean, it's way better than a generic kit that you buy.
Yeah, that was done very well. So, I mean, for us, that was the biggest mods that we did this year.
Yeah. I didn't even buy any tires this year.
Right. Let's see, you mentioned earlier you went down to Streetcar Takeover.
Yeah.
That was the first big event of the year.
That was really cool. I was really hoping to have the bully done. I went down there with John, my cousin with the Audi, and the weather all week called for rain and shit that weekend. So we were almost not going to go. And then it changed, and we decided to go. And then we got down there, and it was exact opposite of what it changed to. So it was back to shitty. But it was still, after it cleared up, I didn't stick around and watch all the races, but it was definitely something to see. I really wanted to see the roll racing because I didn't know how they were going to do that at the drag strip.
Right.
So I was interested in seeing that, but I couldn't stay that long. I mean, we were there since 10 in the morning to get there to get John's car registered and in the show, and nothing started happening. Nothing started happening until 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we stayed until 9, which was a long time for somebody that's not a car person.
Right.
Jeanette wasn't, and you're wet and you're outside and it was shitty weather.
That's a long day for even people like you and me.
Yeah. I mean, I lost track of it because there was cool shit. LSS Willys was there, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And there was a couple big turbo Supras that were there and everything. So I was pretty entertained. And there was big turbo split bumper there too. That was pretty cool. But I stayed entertained, but I lost track of time. And then hey, I need to eat, and my cousin John, hey, we need to go. I need to eat.
Right.
So we called it a day and then went back to the hotel and took a nap to go out for the street shenanigans later, which we didn't get to see any street shenanigans because at 3 o'clock we were done.
Yeah.
And nothing had started yet. But there were some serious cars there. LSX Willys came out to race. The guy that puts on the event, Justin, came out, and it would have been cool to see something go down because you see all the videos on YouTube.
Right.
It would have been cool to see some of that go down. But next year when I go, whenever it is, I'm going, and I will be racing the bully. They have different classes and everything. So I'm looking forward to next year. Now that I know how everything works.
Right. Now you have to have some sort of street tire to run that event, right? Or is that not correct?
It depends. There's the street racer class. There's different classes. The small tire class I could run in, but there's no way I'm racing in the small tire class because I have a slick. So I'd have to run small tire class with all those other guys that you would typically think of being in a small tire class from watching TV. So like anything with a 275 on it that you see.
Right.
And it's on a prepped track for the event. So like I won't be able to compete at all.
Sure.
So I'll probably move to a radial.
Yeah.
And race in the street racer class, which is a 10-second index.
Okay.
We already know we can get the bully to run on close to whatever number we want it to run by adding weight or just pulling some stuff out of the tune.
Yeah.
So I think that's doable. But there's Street Outlaw, which is like the Cuddy race in that. That's like a big tire, what you see on TV, Street Outlaws. Yeah. And there's small tire, which is what you see on TV too. And then there's the street class. There's Daily Driver, which is a 11-second index or an 1150 index. That has to be on a DOT tire.
Okay. Basically,
everything has to be DOT tire aside from Street Outlaw and small tire.
Gotcha. Huh.
They have mod motors versus LS/LT. That's a class too. There's so many of them, and I feel like I didn't get to see them all because the day was cut short.
Right.
So, maybe we'll post a link to the website in their page on our page so people can check it out.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good idea. And then just going back through the spring, I know you and I and the women in our lives, we all made a trip to Woodward one night just to cruise around.
That was the day that I finally realized the car scene is starting, as far as street scene, is starting to really not be there. Like we were down there for how long? We did 4 or 5 laps, and there was like nothing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've talked before. I'll sit in a parking lot for a little bit.
Sure.
But like I would rather drive and see cars while I'm driving. Not even necessarily horse around and race anybody.
Right.
But I just can't sit in a parking lot and look at cars not moving. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want the whole thing.
Right.
So I'd rather be out driving, and there was just not a whole lot of that going on.
Well, I think based on what I saw at the Dream Cruise later on in the year, I want to see more about what goes on in Pontiac.
I cruised the loop in Pontiac before. Remember I told you those old boys with the Challengers took us down to some service road, and we parked there and waited forever. Yeah. And then a bunch of serious cars came by, like GTRs and C6 Z06s that were, had slicks on them, and you could hear the big-ass turbos and everything from a mile away. But that was number one, it was really late. Number two, Pontiac isn't exactly that friendly down that way. It's not as nice as being in Royal Oak.
Right.
Everything's nice and lit, and the stores are nice. And you go down that way, and it's unfortunately illegal activities don't really take place in nice towns.
Right. It's kind of a balance of consequences kind of deal. So we'll see how that works out. Later on in the summer, and I know you did too. I got super busy doing family stuff. Weddings, birthday parties.
Got engaged.
Yeah, you got engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the highlight of the summer.
Yeah.
Was that Michigan trip. That was really cool, that Michigan trip. I liked it. We went up to the UP and everything.
Yeah. So really had kind of a few months there where we really didn't do much.
Yeah, I don't even know why I insured my car through the summer months. I should have insured it early spring and fall.
Right. Same way.
When we drove it to Zach's wedding.
Right. My had the camera on the trunklet incident.
Yeah, she's the photographer that we're using. I'm pretty sure that she knows not to put any camera business on cars.
Not to pour her camera on my trunklet.
That wasn't a part that was painted though, right?
No.
So at least it had that.
Right, it wasn't fresh paint.
But yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. And then, we moved to really kind of the highlight of the summer as far as car stuff goes. We went to Hemi Insanity, which, we've covered.
Yeah, we covered
length.
that on an episode.
Yeah, but really looking forward to that next year.
It's got to come back. That was a huge week and event for the series, and I think most of the people that came enjoyed the whole week.
Yeah,
because I don't feel like most of the people that race actually get to experience the Dream Cruise.
right.
So
Yeah.
I am going to skip what I did this year with going into Royal Oak and watching and everything. I'm actually going to go to, hopefully they have the lot again, and I can go to the Modern Street Hemi lot.
Yeah. No, that was definitely cool. I'm, I saw on my, on this day part on Facebook, I'm sure most people are familiar with that the race was announced at this point last year for this year. So I'm hoping that we
hopefully Dan gets
find
on
something. I mean, obviously ATCO this week is probably busy with that, but hopefully soon we'll.
Man, I'll tell you, even if they brought one back to the LXMI Nationals in Ohio was a stop for them. Not every track was awesome there, but that was a close out-of-town, out-of-state race to make it to. I think the closest they come, though, after that is Bowling Green, Kentucky, right?
Right, yeah, for Challenger Fest.
Yeah.
Yep, so hopefully they come back to Michigan.
So who's going to drive this year in that? Or next year?
I don't know. She Sabrina was saying she wants me to run the Modern Street Hemi shootout races for whatever reason, but
probably because it's more fun for you.
But
girls are weird like that. They like to watch us have fun doing what we like to do,
right?
Even if they do it better.
Was that a dig?
No. No.
Oh, yeah. So, really looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll be able to do that again. And moving on down the line, it was just after that we just started teaching Sabrina to race. Speaking of her, so she's been doing really good.
I feel like the fall Opie race happened.
Yeah.
In there, which we covered that.
Yeah.
We don't need to say that I beat Jesse again.
No.
We can skip the part of the bully beating Jesse completely. Let's just get on past that.
Yeah, we'll skip past the you beat Jesse. The thing was, I don't know if you've heard anything else on it, but we were hearing rumors that was possibly the last one.
Yeah, Debbie puts it on, and she does it almost all by herself. I'm sure she has some help from her family and maybe a couple friends, but maybe not help. They probably just pitch in when they can.
Right.
And she's been doing it for a long time, and it's not the greatest track.
No.
But it's close for all of us, and I think that, number one, she says she's getting old.
Yeah.
But she's still pretty young and a super cool lady. But I think she just gets tired of some of the bullshit. It's at this track sucks. And, I don't want to speak for her, but I see that a lot, on the Facebook pages. And it kind of gets a little disheartening. She is spending her own time.
Right.
Granted, it is for a scholarship in her son's name, and we all miss her son.
She's trying to honor her son, which, he was a Flint guy, and that's the closest track to the scene.
It's just don't piss and moan about the track. Realize that it's for a good cause and go pay your money and donate and then go race.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But I think it's just getting to be too much for her. I hope it's not the last one. She does 2 a year. Maybe that's too much work. Maybe she just does 1 a year.
Right.
Because we had record turnout at the last one. So if she just did 1, I would do 1 in the fall every year.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot she's contending with now. No ETs. She always tries to schedule around a no ET so people don't have to pick.
Right.
And then everybody and their brothers having track events now. Like Brian Davis rents tracks out now with
Right.
Anybody Productions, and there's just all kinds of stuff going on that other people like to go to that they may not be able to make it to the Opie event. So we'll if that stops, we'll have the Big D and J Rowdy show
Yeah.
shootout. Proceeds go to the bully and the instigator. $1,000 worth of proceeds is going to go towards the bully and the instigator.
Well, at least we'd be honest.
I ain't gonna lie. We have nitrous bottles to fill up.
Right. Let's see.
Yeah, bottles too.
Say we've been kind of talking about it all along, just trying to make plans for next year. Is there anything from this year you learned that you want to do the same or differently for next year? Can I ask my wife the same question?
I need to. I mean, aside from going faster, I need to figure out I need to figure out and perfect my whole routine. It was this year was a lot for me, first wise. Hauling the car,
Right.
getting that thing up on the trailer. That was kind of all a little difficult, but I bought some different ramps and everything that made it easier.
Right.
So I just want to try to get in a overall rhythm. To the point of getting it off the trailer, right up to the staging thing. Like I feel like I do. Right, like this season, I did too many different things to try to figure out what worked, and then I would forget what worked. I need to try to figure out more of a consistent way about going about it or something. I don't know.
I know what you're saying. I think we kind of feel the same way of having a routine helps, like not forget things or do something wrong.
Yeah.
So, like you say, we really liked Heavy Insanity, so we're for sure doing that again if it comes back. My biggest problem is my schedule is so inconsistent at work that it's hard to know for sure.
Right. Well, once you get it, it kind of stays consistent. Like, because I notice, like, if we're trying to plan stuff, you'll get out your calendar on your phone and count weekends or whatever to see. But then if you're on call, do you really want to leave town?
Right.
Because with your luck, we'll leave town and then you'll get a call.
Right.
Hey, come all the way back to Saginaw.
Right. It's kind of hard to head into work when I'm in, Ohio or something.
And we only get so much vacation time.
Right.
This year, I had to split my time between boat and car and family. Not that family's a bad thing, but holy cow, did I have a ton of stuff. So I get the consistency with schedule.
Yeah. Well,
what else you got on the list? We skipped the spring Opie event with the bully.
Oh, yeah.
When I raced Todd and beat him.
Yeah.
And then lost in the fall.
Right.
What else is on there?
Not much.
I think we got through most of that.
Yeah. Coming up on people we want to thank that helped us.
Do we have plans for next year? We covered plans for next year?
That's what we're doing now.
Oh. Well, in that case, I'm going super fast next year. I want to do wheelies or Willis's.
Yeah.
Probably not, but I'm kind of excited. I mean, I really have a hard time paying for it.
We went to Milan last weekend, and I want to say maybe somebody will probably tell me I'm wrong, but I want to say it's the last exit before the Plank Road exit where you get off to go to Milan is Willis Road.
I think it is, and I think it is the exit before Plank.
Okay.
Or after. It's one of those.
Right.
You're right. It is Willis.
And we were heading down. We're like, I should have took a picture of that.
Yep.
Oh.
The bully definitely won't be Willising, but or wheeling, but maybe along with the Go Fast, maybe some suspension upgrades, so I'll learn how to chassis.
Right.
And
I'm hoping to get tossed out at least once.
I hope you do. I mean, because we're going to, like I said, I've told you before, we're just going to pill it until we kill it. It's just, we've done motor in that before. It'll be okay.
I've already killed it once. Does my 401k know it too?
I was debating doing that to finish my build because I really want a big blower and I really want a trans brake. But I'm not sure for the amount of money that I'll end up having into the Bully, then I could just go buy a car already done.
Right. Well, pay yourself back the interest.
Yeah. Over the course of like 30 years.
So like you say, people you want to thank.
Yeah. First, I thank God and little baby Jesus for allowing us to, baby Jesus in your swaddling clothes, little in a manger. And then Billy at Go for Broke Racing, he's doing my motor build.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for some of the ideas that he has to see how it works out. And I'm going to do what a lot of people tell me I can't do, is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks that this setup is going to take me where I want to go. So we'll see where that shakes out. I thank Southern Hot Rod for helping out with the car.
Yeah.
And Brent and DTP for tuning it. Like, that's a big deal, man. Like, when I started running my 10s, I literally changed nothing on the car but having it tuned. And intake gaskets. I changed intake gaskets, a different blow-off valve, which in theory shouldn't do much.
Right.
And then had it retuned. Well, what about you?
Well, our good friend Mr. Bundy with his shop Professional Auto Collision.
Yes, he has helped both of us out, loaning trailers or cutting his deals on wheels or paint.
Yeah.
I haven't had any paint work done by him, but if I do need paint work, I will go there.
Yeah. Professional Auto Collision in Flint there. He took care of me, took care of my car. Like, was a A1 experience all the way around. So if you're within the area, for sure take your car there.
Well, I think he's got 3 shops, don't he?
Yeah.
One in Flint, 2 in Flint, one on Fenton Road.
Yeah.
One on Corona and Elms-ish, right? And then there's another one in Clio, I think.
Yeah.
Is it in Clio?
Yep.
Okay.
He's at the one on Corona Road.
Right. I feel like that's the main one.
Yeah. And then we've talked about on the show Detroit Muscle USA. They have offered to loan me a trailer on occasion. I haven't took them up on it yet, but they are good people. So
I was sitting at a bar, actually, and these people come over to me. I had on my Detroit Muscle shirt.
Yeah.
And they started talking to me about Detroit Muscle, and I'm like, I like their clothes, and my best friend's wife works for one of his companies, and they started talking to me like I should know him. And I'm like, I don't know this dude that owns it, but he's super nice. Evidently, this guy's a chiropractor, and he's known him and her for a while. And I was just like, oh, all right.
Okay.
But so it's recognizable. So it'd be cool when you do borrow it. You know? I mean,
so they've definitely been generous and offered us a trailer before, and my wife works for a company that is related to them, we'll say. They're very good people, so go see them, DetroitMuscleUSA.com. I think that's about it, really. Just other than our family and our wives. Thank them. Or your wife-to-be.
Yeah, fiance. Wives, whatever.
Yeah.
We did thank baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Sab is in the studio, but she's quiet right now.
Yeah. She's watching the election that we're not mentioning. So yeah, best of luck to you and your candidate, as long as it's the same candidate that I voted for.
I feel like most of the car world voted for the same people.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
but
mostly. Oh, next episode, I think it's going to be Thanksgiving week. Things are slowing down. So
I know. I don't know if we're going to have much to talk about. I feel like we could recap the show.
Yeah.
The Street Outlaw show. But I feel like most of the people watch that.
Already know. That's where we're going to have our special guest.
Say what?
Yeah.
A Street Outlaws special guest?
Yeah. Our insider.
He's actually been on TV.
Yes.
He's been on TV.
Several times.
I've seen him a couple times.
Yeah.
That's all I've only seen him a couple times. Haven't actually met him. We talk a lot.
Well, he was my best friend in junior high. We rode the same school bus.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, we played floor hockey together. We freaking rode four-wheelers and my three-wheeler and did all kinds of crazy stuff.
Now he's out there street racing with famous people.
Yep. Went from shooting apples into Dixie Highway at my house.
How did you shoot them?
With a hockey stick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll have him on. He'll tell us some things that may or may not realize about it.
Yeah.
Should be pretty interesting.
I'm kind of excited about that because, well, we'll cover it when we get to that.
Yeah.
We also want it's almost Christmas time. By that time, it'll be Christmas season. And 2 seasons I love, Halloween and Christmas, aside from race season.
We're back. Now we're a half later after some technical difficulties.
So we were talking about, we want you guys to, wow, I think that edit went really weird. I think there's going to be like a weird overlay, but by next episode we'll have this kind of thing figured out. I just really don't know. I mean, we decided we wanted to do a podcast, so I got a free recording thing, recording program, and we got a really cool mixing board and really cool microphones, but we never really took the time to figure out this Audacity recording studio thing. So, but anyway, we were talking about
Christmas list for your car.
Yeah, because it's going to be Christmas season the next time we hear back from you guys and hear from Dom. So maybe share what your Christmas list is for your car on the Facebook page and share the page.
Yeah.
So we can get some more likes and some more shares and we can engage the page.
Engage the page.
I know my Christmas list is a new motor. And because I don't want to spend time talking about that on the next episode, because we're going to talk about really fast cars in the next episode.
My Christmas list is this Nitrous Express Maximizer 4 controller.
Maximizer 4.
Yeah. Does some really cool stuff, though.
Yeah?
You can ramp it in like by RPM, mile per hour, time.
I think we should go by time.
Yeah. And it's got that safety feature where if you go too rich or too lean, it shuts the nitrous off.
That'll be nice.
That's pretty sweet.
That'll be real nice.
Yeah.
But lean is mean.
Yeah.
I just want that motor, and I want some safety equipment. I want a helmet that is not a plastic, non-Snell, non-dot approved. And I would like a fire jacket because I will be going fast enough to need it.
Yeah.
And then I like to wear shorts at the track, so maybe some fire pants that I can just put on over my shorts would be nice. But other than that, just I don't get anything cool. Like, I wish that I could figure out how to echo it so we could say Maximizer, miser, 4 or something, but I can't. I'm sure that this thing does it.
Yeah. It does some cool stuff, man.
But at risk of something else happening, we should probably call it good.
Call it a podcast.
And
Yeah, we don't know exactly what day the next one's gonna come out, but my friend's gonna be coming back to town Thanksgiving week. So,
and he actually wants to do it. I mean, this is like a big deal because we're known now in different states.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a couple listeners in different countries.
Yeah.
But we're in different states now.
Right.
And even though he is a friend.
Yeah.
But he does live in a different state. So maybe some people in another state listen.
Yeah.
He's coming from out of state to do the radio show.
Bring in some new listeners.
Not to visit his family back in Michigan, but to come do the podcast.
Yeah, that's why.
So, was there anything else, or is that it?
That's it. We'll see you later.
All right.